The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is the debut solo album by Lauryn Hill, released on August 25, 1998. Widely regarded as one of the greatest albums of all time, it blends hip-hop, soul, reggae, and R&B, with intensely personal, political, and spiritual lyrics. It was produced primarily by Lauryn Hill, with some contributions from Vada Nobles, Chi Pope, and others. The album consisted of 16 tracks, with singles like X Factor, Doo Wop, That Thing, and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. My personal favorite was To Zion and Nothing Even Matters, featuring D'Angelo. In terms of awards and accolades, the album achieved 5 Grammy Awards in 1999, Album of the Year, which was the first hip-hop album by a woman to win, Best New Artist, Best R&B Album, Best Female R&B Vocal Performance in Doo Wop, That Thing, Best R&B Song, Doo Wop, That Thing, and Rolling Stone had the album at number 10 of the 500 greatest albums of all time. In terms of the album theme and lyrical content, X Factor was a classic song, and I Used to Love Him are great examples. It also had motherhood and spirituality, with my favorite song, To Zion. Then it also had self-worth and empowerment too, with Doo Wop and Superstar. Social commentary, Every Ghetto, Every City, and Forgive Them Father. The album was universally acclaimed by critics for its raw emotion, lyrical depth, and musical fusion. Often cited as one of the most important hip-hop and soul records ever made, and inspired generations of artists including Beyonce, Adele, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and her. But the album was not without its controversies. After the album was released, Lauryn Hill faced legal disputes over songwriting and production credits. She then withdrew from the spotlight after this album, and never released a follow-up studio album, adding to its mythical status. The album's title is a reference to Carter G. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro, and Hill's own spiritual awakening. In terms of its sales and certifications, the album went 8 times platinum in the US, with over 8 million albums sold domestically. Worldwide, it sold a remarkable 20 million copies, one of the best-selling albums by a female hip-hop artist of all time. And her music is still doing well even today. Spotify streaming stats are as follows: Doo Wop, 400 million streams, X Factor 200 million streams, Nothing Even Matters 150 million, To Zion more than 100 million, and Everything Is Everything over 90 million streams. And the full album has had over 1 billion streams in total. In terms of musical style, it's a lush mix of neo-soul, boom bap, hip-hop, reggae, and classic Motown style R&B, with tracks like Doo Wop with a 60s girl group kind of style infusing Latin spiritualism. And then there's the whole classroom interludes in between each song, or a few songs, giving that title of Miseducation a real theme, because actually there was children being taught. In terms of critical reception, Rolling Stone called it an album of startling originality. The New York Times praised Hill's breathtaking range and emotional honesty, while Pitchfork retrospectively gave it a 9.5 out of 10, noting its influence on an entire generation of artists. In terms of impact and influence, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill redefined what a hip-hop album by a woman could be. Personal, spiritual, political, and genre-bending, paved the way for future artists, and often considered the blueprint for conscious R&B and soul-infused hip-hop. It's the kind of album that grows with you, revealing new truths at every stage of life. More than 2 decades later, it's still quoted, sampled, studied, and revered.